a review for The Walking Dead, and I'm pretty sure this episode is called Arrow on the Doorstep. This episode was kind of a point A to point B episode. It wasn't really an action-y episode. We really haven't gotten an action-y episode in a while. But it's really the governor and Rick sitting down saying, alright, I don't trust you, but what do you want to do to stop this war? And kind of going back and forth with that. Then Daryl hanging out with, I don't know his name, I feel like his name is Rodriguez, but that's kind of like his henchman, the governor's henchman, and I guess powerhouse for him. And then we have Milton, who I feel is just such under-the-radar type of character, and such a dark horse, and I think we get to see a little bit of him and his personality in this episode, and him connect with Herschel, and Daryl connect with, again, I think his name is Rodriguez. So we get to see these other characters kind of connecting with the Woodbury people, and then Angia just kind of being there, saying, I set up this meeting, I am that cool. And then I guess her also debating, should I be with the governor and Rick. She had her annoying tendencies in this episode, but we also see what is her motives. And I think we saw that more in the trailer than really this episode, but we get to see her talking to Herschel, saying, I don't know if I want to be there anymore. I want to be with you guys. You're the people I trust. But she still goes with the governor. But then again with the trailer, she's like, you shouldn't trust the governor. We have to kill him. So maybe she's just working from the inside. Maybe we miss a conversation from Herschel and her. Maybe they're like, I'll work from the inside. And I think that could be interesting. I think that's the one redeemable thing about Angia, is if she's the one who destroys the governor. I feel like that is something that could redeem her character for the audience to actually like her again. Because if you remember the end of Season 2, everyone was like, oh my god, Angia's so kick-ass, she's awesome. And then she got back to her annoying self in Season 3. But I think if we get to see the finale kill the governor, be less annoying, maybe there'll be fans that actually make her a fan favorite. I think that's definitely possible if they go that route. And I think they might. Yeah, I think that's possible. Other things, is more about betraying everybody in this episode, honestly. The governor says no guns, he has a gun under the table, you know, then his plan, his agreement is, alright, I will stop bothering you, I don't really care about you, if you hand me over Michonne. And Rick's like, alright, let me think about this. So when the governor goes back, he talks to Rodriguez. Again, I don't know if that's his name. I'm going to call him that for the review, at least. I think it is. So he talks to Rodriguez and says, we're going to kill him. And I think he actually talks to Milton also, saying, we're going to kill him. And, yeah, I'm not going to keep to my promise. And then when Rick goes back to the prison, he tells everybody, he's like, yeah, the governor wanted war. That's what we're going to do. He's upset. So he didn't tell the group about him wanting Michonne, and he'll leave him alone. But then he talks to Herschel and saying, alright, I'm only telling you this, but he wants Michonne, and then he'll leave us alone. And then Herschel's like, I think she's earned her spot in this group, that we won't hand her over. And Rick's like, the reason I'm telling you this is that I want to change my mind, because I want, you know, our loved ones, our family to be protected, and if that means giving over Michonne, is that the right thing? So it's really him and Herschel. And that's how the episode ends. It's like, it feels so unfinished, but that's how it ends. It's like, it's not a cliffhanger, but it feels unfinished and you wanted more, which is very special for episode, I think. You know, sometimes cliffhangers can be a little gimmicky, but with this, it's like, it leaves you wanting more, but because you want more from that conversation. I think that's only happened one other time. I think it was before Lori died, where Lori and Rick are talking. He's like, I wanted more from that conversation. And I think that's always special with The Walking Dead, with those kind of cliffhanger, not really cliffhanger, but those type of endings. So yeah, like, we still don't know if Rick is going to say, alright, Michonne, we're going to give you the governor, but the governor's still going to kill everybody. So that's the governor betraying Rick and saying him lying to Rick, which is, I think the one good thing that Rick is not trustworthy is that he's not trustworthy to the governor either. I think if this was back in Season 1, he'd be like, yeah, sure, here's Michonne, you know? But I think now he's like, I don't trust him. And I think that's the right thing, that Rick doesn't trust him. And we saw in the end of this episode that the governor shouldn't be trusted. But I think the war is going to be very interesting, and honestly, to see what sides everyone takes. I wasn't sure in this episode if Merle was talking to Michonne. It seemed Merle was more towards the governor, it seemed, when he was talking to Michonne. So maybe some people from the prison, I guess Merle really the only one, maybe want to go back to the governor, or maybe Milton and Andrea realizing about the governor, wow, he's a bad guy, maybe we should go with the prison people, you know, with our group, with Rick's group. So I think it might be, with this war, a change of sides also. And those are the only people I could really see changing sides. Of course, it wasn't said this is going to happen, but I think if anyone, from the promo, stuff said in this episode, I feel like that is possible. Maybe they will change sides somehow. And Angie, I really feel that's possible. Again, I feel like they want to redeem that character because she is really annoying. And a lot of people don't like her, but they want to keep her because she is a strong character. And we see that in this episode too, killing the zombies. And we always knew that she's a strong character, just really annoying. And if she kills the governor, really, I think this could change a lot for her character and see what exactly she does in the next couple of episodes. So I would keep an eye on her. And then Milton was really enjoyable. I just liked his attitude a lot in this episode. He is very loyal to the governor, but I feel like he is noticing that the governor is, you know, the governor, a bad guy. And I think that's why Milton's going to be very interesting. And I want to see what happens with that character. I just thought he was very interesting in this episode. And I really hope that everyone else realized that, because I feel he is a very dark horse type of character. So yeah, this is all about agreements in this episode, and really not agreements, but we get to see, again, Woodbury and Rick's group being compared in this episode, them actually getting along with Rodriguez, again, I think that's his name, and Daryl, and then Herschel and Milton, them kind of getting along, even though they don't like each other, but what's going inside is that Rick and the governor really don't trust each other, and they're kind of lying to each other's face. So I'm excited to see what the turnout's going to be. I really hope Rick stands to what he's been throughout the second and third season, him not trusting anybody, because I think if he finally does trust somebody, and, you know, the governor's really going to screw him over, and he's like, oh, I trust somebody, and look what happens. I gotta say one thing I really liked in this episode also, which actually I played twice, because I didn't know where it came from, like why he told the story, but I enjoyed the story anyways, where the governor talks about his wife and how his wife died, and it actually was nothing to do with the zombie apocalypse. It actually had to do with a car accident, and it felt that character was so real and coming into our world. And, you know, before the zombie apocalypse, where we don't really get to see a lot of story with that. So I thought that was very interesting in this episode. Again, I don't really know where it came from, why he said it, but I guess it's just for him to connect with the Lori thing. So I understand what you're going through. And then, yeah, it should be interesting to see what he does with Michonne if he does get her. And I really hope Rick realizes, you know, Michonne's part of our family and would not let her go. You know, let's do war. And it seemed like that's where it's going through this episode. It seems like Michonne's finally become part of the family. And I think that was realized in the last episode. But I think she's finally becoming part of the group. But really, anything could go in the next episode. I think, like I said with the beginning of this review, I said this is a point A to point B episode. It was very tense. Again, not a lot of action, but it's still a really good episode because we're getting to point A to point B where this war is, and we needed this episode to see where everyone is, where everyone's thoughts are, and we really needed this episode, and I think it wasn't slow, it was needed, it wasn't repeating things, it was maybe changing motives, and changing the story up a little, so I thought it was really good. I don't think it was better than the last episode was really good, but in a different way, but this is setting up for these last 4 episodes, so very excited to see what happens, and pretty good episode. I thought it was a really solid episode, and a lot of good stuff happened that I think we could all speculate about. So tell me in the comments below what you thought about this episode. I'll have another review for The Walking Dead next week, and I think there's only 4 episodes left, so hopefully they are, fast-paced, because I think we do need that for the last 4 episodes to get, some people is like, oh, it goes too slow-paced. I understand where they're coming from, but I think if you really look into these characters, these last 2 episodes have been really good. There's been some past where nothing really happened, but these last 2 episodes really have, it was, I guess, maybe slow in other people's eyes, but if you really look into it, stuff happened. Yeah, so I'm really excited for the last 4 episodes to see where this goes, and tell me what you thought about this episode in the comments below, and again, I'll have another Walking Dead review next week. And guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Random Situations. Bye.